Have you ever wondered what you'd do with millions? Buy a mansion? Travel the world? Well, for one family, a massive inheritance didn't bring dreams to life. Instead, it tore them apart and dragged them into a courtroom nightmare that lasted for years. This isn't just a story about money. It's a story about broken trust, secret deals, and what happens when greed gets the best of us. It all started with a patriarch, a successful businessman named Mr. Harrison. He built an empire from scratch. When he passed away, he left behind a fortune worth over $50 million. In his will, everything seemed simple. He wanted his 3 children, let's call them David, Sarah, and Mark, to share the inheritance equally. He believed this was the fairest way, a final gift to ensure his children's futures were secure. On paper, it was a perfect plan, but in reality, it was the beginning of the end for the Harrison family. The first crack appeared almost immediately. David, the eldest, had been heavily involved in the family business. He felt he deserved a larger share. He argued that he dedicated his life to growing the company, while his siblings, Sarah and Mark, pursued their own careers and were less involved. He saw the equal split, not as fair, but as a slap in the face for his years of hard work and sacrifice. Sarah, a doctor, and Mark, a university professor, were shocked. They believed their father's will was his final wish and should be respected without question. To them, David's demand felt like a betrayal. This initial disagreement quickly spiraled. The siblings stopped talking. Family dinners became a thing of the past. Lawyers were brought in, and the battle lines were drawn. David filed a lawsuit challenging the will, claiming his father wasn't of sound mind when he signed it. He alleged that Sarah and Mark had unduly influenced their aging father to get an equal share. This accusation was a bombshell. It turned a financial dispute into a deeply personal and ugly fight. The courtroom became their new family gathering place. Intimate family secrets were aired out for everyone to see. David's lawyers painted Sarah and Mark as opportunistic and manipulative. While their lawyers portrayed David as greedy and disrespectful of his father's memory, friends and relatives were forced to choose sides, testifying for or against one another. The family's reputation, once respected in their community, was now just tabloid fodder. The legal fees were astronomical, eating away at the very inheritance they were fighting over. Millions were spent on lawyers, court filings, and expert witnesses. One of the most dramatic moments in the trial came when old family emails and letters were presented as evidence. An email from David to his father years earlier complained about his siblings' lack of involvement and hinted that he deserved more. In response, a heartfelt letter from Mr. Harrison was read aloud, where he explained that he loved all his children equally and that the family's unity was more important to him than any amount of money. Hearing their father's words read by a stranger in a cold courtroom brought tears to Sarah and Mark's eyes. Even David seemed shaken. For a moment, the gravity of what they had lost, their family bonds, seemed to hit them all. But the fight wasn't over. The case dragged on for nearly 5 years. The judge eventually had to make a decision. After reviewing mountains of evidence and listening to weeks of testimony, the court upheld the original will. The judge ruled that there was no evidence of undue influence and that Mr. Harrison was perfectly clear-headed when he made his final wishes known. David lost. He was ordered to pay not only his own massive legal bills, but a portion of his siblings as well. The verdict was in, but the damage was irreversible. The $50 million inheritance had shrunk significantly due to the legal battle. But the financial loss was nothing compared to the emotional toll. The 3 siblings who had grown up playing together were now strangers. The trust was gone. Love was buried under years of anger and resentment. They inherited millions of dollars, but in the process, they lost the one thing that money could never buy: their family. This story is a powerful reminder. Money can provide comfort and security, but it can also expose the worst in people. It shows how quickly greed can poison relationships and how a poorly communicated plan, even with the best intentions, can lead to disaster. The Harrison family's courtroom nightmare serves as a cautionary tale for all of us about the true meaning of wealth and the priceless value of family. What do you think? Could this have been avoided? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story compelling, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating real-life stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.